Welcome back, everybody. We are here, game 2 of this best of 3 series. It is I, once again, Matsuda, joined here by Joshi, as we get into the picks and bans.
Yeah, we just saw a great performance coming out from eZclap, going up 1-0 and threatening to take this in a clean 2-0 fashion. So we have to see how the University of Florida will respond this game. We saw some interesting picks coming out from Florida, but I'm not convinced that they're what they're going to be looking for again this time. And I'll be honest, if I'm eZclap, the only thing I'm looking to ban out from that last game might be the Vel'Koz coming out from General Wally. It was very powerful. They had a lot of damage. They had a lot of control of their lane. Want to take that away from them, but otherwise, I mean, eZclap was looking so clean across the entire game.
Yeah, we see first ban off of University of Florida is going to be the Graves, taking that out of Heimerdoodle's hands there. As eZclap's going to respond with the respectful, I believe to be
It's
the
Camille.
Camille. Yep.
Yeah, interesting pick coming out. We saw it played up earlier by Rice or Die up against a Maokai. Didn't have the greatest time in the world, but nonetheless, it is still a carry champion they want to take off of the field. We're seeing the LeBlanc coming out, and I mean, if you're the University of Florida, I think you've already got the #1 threat off the table. We've seen eZclap first pick Graves every opportunity they've had, take it away, force Heimerdoodles onto something else. And I mean, that could be exactly what you're looking.
Maybe we'll see some of that Heimerdinger jungle. That I'm deeply disappointed.
I wouldn't say I'd be disappointed, but I'd be confused and surprised for sure. The Alistar coming out as well, being taken away from Luda right there, makes a lot of sense to me. And then the Jax also taken off the field for the FF15 machine, and it looks like they're going to be having to pick up something else. They're going to be grabbing the early Akali, perhaps. A very strong early pick, has a lot of power to roam and potentially deal with almost anything that Puffles can play in the mid lane. Also taking it away, Puffles was the one piloting this character last time.
Yeah, getting that Akali off the table leaves eZclap wondering, what are they going to play jungle? What are they going to play mid lane? I've seen Puffles pull out Orianna and Syndra in their champion pool, but I'm not so sure they do too well against this Akali.
Yeah, not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but the Lucian, we've seen a lot of great games. Danzor on this character, going to be very aggressive, and we have to keep talking about it. Danzor having so much impact on these games, getting so many kills, finding advantages in the 2v2 with Luda up against Sif and Gremmy. Not a position you want to find yourself in, and the Scion once again getting picked up right now for the top lane. Such a safe pick, very strong, very powerful, able to get insanely tanky later on in the game, as well as having a dominant early game.
Yeah, if we're seeing Dancer take out the Lucian, then the Luna's probably going to pull it.
No!
University of Florida. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Wukong jungle once again.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it performed very poorly last game. I'm not convinced about this pick whatsoever. If you're going to be picking a Wukong, you want to be picking it later in the draft. And the other thing is that we know FF15 machine has a Rengar. It's something else that you can play in a similar spot. I think it's stronger than the Wukong. You still have the same assassination potential, and you can more easily take over a game. But the Nidalee looking to come out right now for Heimerdoodle, potentially finding a lot of counter ganks and even just duels. Nidalee is a character that if you're able to keep at range, you're actually able to duel the Wukong at certain parts of the game. But eZclap, I mean, you already have a Scion, you already have the front line to deal with the Wukong. It's just such a dangerous position to be picking this champion into. The Tahm Kench Morgana already banned away, two of the biggest things you want to take away if the opposing team already has a Kai'Sa. I really like the way that they're playing, they're drafting around these supports.
Yeah, they don't want to mess with the Morgana at all. I'm not sure what Ludus is going to pull out. The only supports I've seen him on is the Alistar and the Thresh. I'm not sure if they'll go for the Thresh in this case in the matchup against Akali, Wukong, Kai'Sa, but we are going to see.
I'd really like to see a Braum if he plays it. Obviously, you have the Lucian Braum synergy to play with. Plus, it's pretty good against the Wukong, giving the extra resistances to your squishy ADC, going to keep him alive for a lot longer. The Zyra already being banned out as well, that signifies to me that you might be looking at something like Rakan once again. He didn't play it last time with the Zaya, but still strong in. No, they're looking to be grabbing the Irelia, preempting the mid lane here, and it's actually a pretty good pick going up against something like a Galio or a Corki. There's a lot of squishy champions that Irelia still has a great matchup against, and with the damage reduction coming out from that W, keeping them alive up against things like the Akali. But look at that, it's actually going to be a Galio coming out. We've seen this played previously by General Wally. It did alright. Not something I was super impressed with, but definitely a strong protection tool for Sif on this Kai'Sa, and the Rakan being the last pick. So University of Florida has a lot of individual picks that need to do well on their own, and it feels to me like their win condition in this game, even before seeing eZclap's last pick, is basically be better than your opponents.
I mean, isn't that everyone's win condition in League of Legends?
I mean, it's always helpful. It always does a lot for you if you are just better than your opponents, but with the Poppy coming out, the engage is going to be that much more difficult. The Poppy support, actually, down here in the bottom lane. Rakan's life is going to be difficult. Wukong's life is going to be difficult. Akali and Gallia, there are so many dashes.
Even the Kai'Sa as well with the
Even the Kai'Sa. Every single character can get completely stopped in their tracks by the steadfast presence coming out from Poppy. eZclap, looking to have a pretty good set of champions right now. If I'm just basing it off of the idea that University of Florida has to be better than their opponents, I'm going to have to give it over to eZclap because they have a lot of champions that can individually pop off just as hard, and based on last game where they won every single lane by themselves and Heimerdiddles completely controlled the early game, I think they can do it again. I think they are the better team here, and when your opponents are relying on being better than you, it doesn't tend to go well.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing in the eyes of University of Florida. At this point, I'm hoping to see maybe FF15 untilts himself, maybe shakes off the bad Buju he had early in that first game, and is able to out-jungle Heimerdoodle, who's on Nidalee. We've never seen him on Nidalee before during this tournament, so it's exciting to see whether or not he outperforms his opponent.
Definitely will be very crucial. Nidalee likes to go for a lot of counter ganks, but it's also something, it can duel Wukong at different points in the game, but it's also reliant on finding the surprise early on. So if eZclap can get the same kind of vision control that they did in game 1, it's going to make Heimerdoodle's life so much easier. Also going with the Dark Harvest once again, looking to help out their later game just a little bit. And as we look across the field, nothing particularly surprising coming out from any of these players. Galio actually going with the Aftershock, and oh, it's actually going to be Rice or Die on the Akali, going up in the top lane up against that Scion with an Ignite.
I believe the Scion just wins the matchup against Akali.
I actually don't know. Scion seems like it would be okay. You have a lot of opportunities to throw out AoE. The shield helps out quite a bit, but Akali is not a mana champion, and therefore actually can find pushing advantages up against Joystick Truck because he doesn't have the dematerializers. He's going with Grasp of the Undying. He's not going to get a lot of auto attacks off. So I'm curious to see how this actually plays out, but once again, both teams opting for an early fan. We'll see what vision actually goes down. We were saying early vision likely to come out from the side of eZclap. Heimerdoodles wants to have complete knowledge of where his opponent is going to be.
Yeah, while we are waiting for minions to spawn, we're going to go ahead and announce the teams here on blue side. We have University of Florida with Rice or Die playing Akali in the top lane. The FF15 machine playing Wukong in the jungle. The General Wally playing that Galio in the mid lane. Sif and Grammy99Bis playing Kai'Sa and Rakan in the bot lane.
And their opponents currently leading the series 1-0. thick truck for eZclap up in the top lane on the sign. Heimerdoodles, Nidalee in the jungle. Puffles, MIA on the Irelia in the mid lane, and Danzor and Luda, the true stars of this team, on the Lucian and Poppy in the bot lane. Now again, both junglers starting in the bottom half of the map, and actually almost no vision coming out from either team early on. The only thing we see going down is a ward in their own try and the Ghost Poro coming out in the top half of the map. And this could be very explosive depending on how the junglers want to path, because they don't have a good idea of where each other are. Joystick finally puts down a ward on the Scuttlecrab in the top half of the map. That'll help out a little bit, especially since it looks like FF15 is looking to buff Scuttle.
Yeah, at this point, that's the name of the game here for Wukong. Hopefully he gets an easier start compared to the beginning start, where he was unfortunately interrupted by Heimerdoodles on his graves. As we see, Puffles Mia look for an early trade against General Wally, establishes his dominance, and continues the CS, which is fairly easy for Irelia.
Yeah, definitely something very easy. Get those passive stacks up, and then you get a lot of aggressive power. Right now, we're seeing a lot of priority coming out from the side of eZclap, and that'll help out Heimerdoodles a lot. They're pinging towards the Wukong. They know exactly where he is, and Puffles is already moving.
Yeah, with Puffles rotating, he realized, okay, I have mid lane priority. We're going to go ahead and collapse on this monkey here as they go on top of the Scion, as FF15 is just going to walk away, and Joystick Truck is going to enjoy his stay at the top lane.
Yeah, he's going to go right on back. He's a little bit of damage bot lane.
Oh, Luda gets ignited as we see Grammy flash out as Kaisa Sif establishes his dominance and totally flashes on top of Luda and gets the kill for first blood, going over to University of Florida.
And that was with the nerf. Kaisa just took a nerf to the execute damage on that passive, but it just does not matter. See, flashing forward and taking out so much of Luda's health. This is what we need to see coming out from Sif and Grammy, finding 2v2 advantages up against Danzor and Luda. That'll help out this game a whole lot, but Heimerdoodles top lane.
Yeah, Heimerdoodles here. He's going to look to land a spear, connects the spear, gonna pounce on top of Rice or die. Let the right finish him off! But the Ignite's taking on Joystick Truck is going to be enough. No, the heal from Heimerdoodles says, don't worry, I may have messed up in the beginning, but I won't let you die on me.
That was very bold coming up from Rice or Die, and going in bot lane, not going to find a whole lot there, but Rice or Die now puts himself in a really awkward position. Unfortunately, alright, as a top laner, what Heimerdoodles did here can be disastrous for his top laner. If you are a jungler, you need to talk to your top laner and figure out how the wave is going to bounce if you don't already know. That would have pushed away from Joystick, and Rice or Die would have been able to freeze against him. So even though he found the assist, it could have been really bad for the Scion. But Scion, with the teleport, able to have so much control over the wave, moving in and starting to pressure out this Akali one more time. But so many minions here, Rice or Die will be able to find a big advantage. And Puffles and Wally still fighting.
Yeah, Wally connects the taunt, says, alright, I'll take that trade. Galio excels at those short combo trades. Most of his damage coming out from the Q and his taunt. So with that out, he's just going to take the trade. As we look at the bot lane here, Danzor has a fairly easy time, has a slight CS advantage, but it's actually quite even. But we do see Heimerdoodles hovering around the bot lane, puts down a ward, and Sif and Grammy are aware that Nidalee is within the vicinity.
Yeah, but FF15 is also here, coming in through the lane. We'll have to see if they are able to spot him out. They are pinging towards him. He's showed himself somewhere. I'm not sure exactly how, but they are sniffing this out, not going to be giving over the kill, and that's going to be giving Heimerdoodles a lot of freedom to move around the top half of the map.
Yeah, I believe there is a ward. It is actually just put down by Luda, and they say, alright, we know you're on the boss of the map. And they go ahead and send Heimerdoodles over on the top side of the jungle. Maybe look to make a play on Rice or Die. No flash available, not level 6 yet on the Akali. So this should be a fairly easy gank if Scion is able to set it up perfectly.
There they go.
Oh, the Shroud is placed down. Spear does not quite connect, and that is the end of the gank. And the end of the adventures for Heimerdoodles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough gank to actually make work. Heimerdoodles is coming back, trying to make the repeat. Shroud still has a long cooldown. We'll see if they can find it.
Yeah, Shroud's not looking like it's going to be up for another... It actually is up at the moment, so just going to be able to walk away as Heimerdoodles maybe looks to land the spear, misses the spear, but Rise or Die has to be careful, flashes into the bush! Assumes that Rise or Die might be hiding inside there.
Well, we saw Rise or Die use the first half of his ultimate, so I actually respect it a lot. Making sure he can't get executed by the second part of the ultimate, gets himself out. Giving a lot of freedom back to Joystick. We saw that there was a big CS lead coming out for Rise or Die, and taking away the ultimate does mean that this Sign is much safer in this lane than he would be otherwise. General Wally now moving up to the top lane to try and interfere.
Yeah, at this point, this might be looking a little bit dire for Joystick Shrug. Has to be careful, but there is a control ward. It goes ahead and spots him out. And they see that FF15 machine is on the bot side, so they are aware of his whereabouts here. So he's going to go for this Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, interesting time to roam around for General Wally. It is Cannon Wave, so he's not going to lose quite as much, because it's going to take a long time to die to that turret, but there's priority for his opponents, and that means that he's going to be losing out on something at all. He didn't get the wave pushed in all the way. That's not something that you are going to be super excited about. Now, I'm curious who actually is going to be getting the blue buff here. Heimerdoodle's taking it away. Sorry, Mr. Midlaner. I'm in the jungle. I decide what happens with it, and I'm giving it to myself.
Yeah, you just got to appreciate yourself as a jungler. Says, all right, I've been proactive across the map. I have 1 kill under my belt, so I don't see why not. I should deserve this blue buff.
Yeah, I'm a mana champion. I really want this. Now, as we take a look around the map, we were saying that their win condition was being better than their opponents, and thus far, they actually do have a lead coming out. They have even CS in just about every single role. Slight lead, slight deficits here and there. But the extra first blood coming out, Seif now with both of his summoners back up, he's going to be scaling really hard on this Kai'Sa. They just need to get him there, so I'm actually liking their chances better and better now as this game continues to stall out. Nidalee not super great in the late game. Lucian with the short auto attack range, not going to have as great of a time later on either. So, I mean, University of Florida able to stall things out. FF15 doing much better this game, not falling disastrously far behind in terms of the jungle pathing. So, yeah. I mean, we actually have a real game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an even game at this point on. Kai'Sa does come online around 2 to 3 items, so definitely something that the eZclap has to look out for.
Definitely has to look out for it. We're seeing a lot of movement in the bot lane. 4 members coming out for University of Florida. But they stepped over a bunch of wards. Everybody knows where they are.
Yeah, they are aware that something is not seeming too right in this bot side of the map. As we do see, Dragon is up. Maybe they are going to try to contest for it. Puffles Mia is within the vicinity, maybe looking to get an ultimate on either the carries, on Seif, or maybe even FF Machine. As Heimerdoodle. Actually, the flash charge from Poppy as the Galio ultimate goes through, knocks up only Luda here as Danzor gets taken out, Seif gets the kill, and they want more. General Wally initiates on top of Luda. Puffles Mia has to be careful. He's on top of Seif, gets the kill. Shutdown going over as Heimerdoodle gets the kill on top of General Wally. The General is dead as Scion ultimate goes through, and it's a clean 4. No, it's almost a 3 for 4, but they want more. The blood is spilling all over the place. And FF Machine is trying to juke him out, but FF Machine is destroying a triple kill, goes over to Joystick Shrug, and that is must an ace going over to eZclap.
Alright, that fight was so back and forth. It's hard to know where to begin. Luda with a little bit of a questionable engage, giving over Danzor almost immediately in that fight as the side of University of Florida very quickly moves to the single member. But as Scion moves down in, as Rise or Die joins the fight, a lot of mobility, a lot of back and forth. They pick off so many different people. And Kai'Sa, being one of the big beneficiaries of that fight, 2, 1, and 3 does end up going down. But just being able to accelerate that build faster as compared to Danzor is going to be helping them out a lot, especially when the other kills from the other team going over to the Scion. Yes, he's going to get tanky, but Kai'Sa is going to be shredding through a Scion later on. Percentage health damage is going to be helping out so much. So even though it's technically a loss, the 4v4 for 5 coming out from the University of Florida, I think that I mean, went pretty well overall. And here we fight again.
Yeah, they catch out FF Machine. He has to be careful. He's trying to dodge all these skill shots, but it's not enough. And Heimerdoodles comes out with the damage as Danzor just pulls out the Coling, just trying to threaten onto the bot lane of University of Florida, but the knockup from Rakan as Danzor has to be careful and does not want to get executed by the Xayah Sieve. He's looking to maybe get the kill as Luda's just keeping him at bay as Puffles Mia in the mid lane is already initiating a fight on top of General Wally. He wants to fight the captain, the general himself, as Wally just boldly stands there as he just throws out the Q.
Yeah, we're seeing Luda being very aggressive. Heimerdoodles already backed away. Not necessarily a fight you want to be taking with FF15 in the area, but Heimerdoodles in the mid lane. Look at that damage.
There's so much damage, not going to connect with that stun from Irelia, but Heimerdoodles is just looking out for blood. He's just looking for picks, maybe trying to get kills on top of the board and try to snowball this lead like he should be doing as of now.
Definitely true. We're seeing them move around. I don't think he'll go for the killer instinct there. Not something that's super safe with a whole lot of information. Irelia around the corner. Luda looking for Seif.
Oh, Seif gets caught out. Poppy ultimate gets in, but it's a 1v2. His AD carry is nowhere nearby as Danzor is going to randomly just walk towards the turret as they are posturing for this dive, but FF15 is around this turret, is able to support his team if need be. As it's just a top lane it's just a regular top lane for Joystick Truck and Rise or Die.
Yeah, definitely interesting. The fact that Seif and Gremmy were sticking around should have been a big sign to the other team that something wasn't right. We knew that FF15 and General were both in the area looking to help out. But so many people are just sticking around this bot lane right now. Seif has an opportunity to go back, pick up that extra amplifying tome, help out a little bit with execution damage. Overall, this game, I mean, the game's still on our hands, but a lot of people just being a little bit timid, but Luda, definitely not one of them, always looking for an opportunity to go aggressively forward.
Yeah, aggressively forward, we do see Rise or Die just pounce on top of Joystick Truck, but has to be careful. There is that minion wave advantage. Getting constantly shoved, but is able to keep up in terms of CSing, so it's not so bad for him at the moment.
Yeah, not so bad. Doesn't have the double buffs anymore. Has lost that to the time. And he's running out of mana. This is one of the differences that we were talking about between these two champions is Joystick does have a secondary resource bar that will limit him in the long term. So he needs to get underneath his opponent's turret and actually play around it. But Heimerdoodles is here. This is a difficult dive.
Oh, misses the arrow, not the arrow, the spear, and that is very crucial. FF Machine gets the kill on Heimerdoodles.
Got red.
Oh, the red buff is going to go ahead and take on top of the Scion as Joystick Trucks tries to juke it out. Force the flash, still juking and gets ignited. It might be enough. Does he have enough mana for W? And it appears that the last tick of Ignite keeps him alive in that altercation. Meanwhile, bot lane, they're going to go ahead and chunk out at this turret.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm surprised they didn't commit to the dive. Rise or Die had his Shroud coming up in just a moment, and there's definitely enough health. Both of these champions having a way to drop turret aggro, but not willing to go underneath the turret to actually find a Scion and potentially a kill that they're not able to pick up. But they completed Ginsu's Rage Blade and the Blade of the Rune King coming out in the bottom half of the map. I'm excited to see how these guys actually play out, but they haven't been having a lot of opportunity to 2v2 this game. FF15, General Wally, Heimerdoodles, and Puffles spending a lot of time down here trying to make sure that their AD carry is the one with the lead.
Yeah, knockup goes through General Wally, always able to 1v1 Puffles Mia so far. Just comes out on top at this point, not even with the corrupting potion as we see.
He's got a Sunfire Cape!
Oh! Goes ahead and rushes the Sunfire Cape. Not too sure if that's the optimal build on Galio. I myself don't play Galio at all.
It's very surprising. Even if you're trying to win the mid lane in this matchup, you still want some mana. He does have the Dark Seal, which helps out, but he's fully embraced the tank life, going directly into take items right away. Not sure it's the best thing in the world, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Joystick not going quite low enough, and everybody's going to be backing away here.
Yeah, I do feel like University of Florida are playing very passive here. I think they're just scared of just making bad decisions, which cost them this series.
I think they're very confident in their ability to outplay their opponents later on in the game, but for me, that's a really big toss-up. You got Akali, Wukong, and Kai'Sa going up against like Nidalee, Irelia, and Lucian, and there's a lot of back and forth fighting between these two teams. So it'll be very exciting to watch these team fights play out because they're going to be much more skirmish heavy, not really doing a whole lot in terms of true front-to-back team fighting. But the next dragon's going to spawn, and that's going to be pulling a lot of people to the bottom half of the map. You already see the pings coming out. It is going to be spawning right now in the Infernal Drake. eZclap's there first, and they know there's no vision.
Yeah, it's not going to be contested unless FF Machine looks to get an ult steal, not going to connect with the Poppy ultimate, and Infernal Drake is in the hands of eZclap as we see the TP go in from Sion. Oh, it's on top, does not connect on top of FF Machine, but the slow is there as Luna knocks him into the wall, force a flash into the wall, as Puffles Mia gets the kill on FF Machine. The blast cone almost gets Grammy killed. Oh, that was a little bit worrying, but they're not on the right side of the map as Steve is in a bad position, doesn't get stunned, force the flash out as Luna's trying to get the kill on Rakan, and they do get the kill, and they might not be looking to take out Steve down here in this bot lane.
Yeah, that was crazy all over the place, but General Wally and Joystick just hitting each other up here in the top lane, and finally the first turret goes down. Rise or Die, left to his own devices, is going to be getting himself effectively 2 kills there with the first brick. That's not something you necessarily want to be giving over to Nikali, but you're happy picking up the Infernal Drake, finding a couple kills for themselves, and see if with the top 10 anime betrayals there, hitting the blast cone and knocking Remy right back into the other team, but they're still sticking around.
Oh, no, that didn't go over to Heimerdoodles. I wasn't too sure, and they have to be careful. They don't want to fight so tightly in the jungle, because that just asks for Luda to please push me into a wall and get me killed.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes there that we're not really going to go down that road, but Rise or Die still pushing up in the top lane, getting a lot of turret onto the second tier. Actually getting pretty far ahead in terms of CS, finding a lot of kills. He's going to be a real split push threat later on as this game continues to go forward. But the rest of the team starting to fall a little bit behind. We're seeing that Heimerdoodles, it's taken a little while, but he finally has a level lead, is starting to build up a camp advantage over FF15 Machine, who is still sitting on that Duskblade, not completing the Warrior enchantment at all. Uh-oh.
Oh, has to be careful. General Wally gets hit by the stun by Relay, but there's not enough damage on the follow-up as Grammy gets the kill on Heimerdoodles. That knock-up very crucial as Dancer trying to stay and keep his teammate alive as Luna's in the fight as well. And they're going to go ahead and disengage from this fight.
Yeah, I said uh-oh, and then it was a counter uh-oh, because it turns out the FF15 Machine was still there looking around, turns around the fight, finds another kill onto Heimerdoodles.
Is this a FF15 Machine's redemption arc?
I mean, it could be. We already saw top 10 anime betrayals earlier, Remy being the sacrificial lamb. We'll see if we can get more episodes into this. Hopefully it's a better arc, but Dancer.
Oh, the Colin goes out. Dancer not quite going to get enough damage on General Wally. Not even the gunslinger like Lucian is able to get the kill on Galio. As Luda's maybe pressuring for this mid lane turret, but Rakan's going to wave clear the mid lane minion waves.
Remy has a level advantage on his AD carry. I'm actually curious where this is coming from. That's not normally how you see things playing out in a competitive 5s game, but Rise or Die doesn't realize that there's 2 people here.
Oh, Rise or Die is going to hug the Shroud, just going to hop over the wall, and that's the end of that one, but they are posturing themselves maybe to take this mid lane turret, because at this point they are even at turrets, but I'm not sure whether or not eZclap have an easier time sieging. It's more of the fact that Rakan and Galio are a threat, and it's so easy for Galio to get those big Galio ultimates when Rakan initiates with his ultimate.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of opportunity to go forward, but Rise or Die is separated and they're looking for a dive.
Oh, Luda not quite going to get anything. Pops the W for the movement speed, but gets no benefit out of it, so they're just going to chip away at the turret. Poppy ultimate gets rid of Galio and Rakan, the key initiators of this fight, but there's nothing to get profit out of.
Well, they did get Gremmy's ultimate. The engage opportunities coming out for the side of University of Florida are significantly reduced now. But one interesting thing that we haven't noticed thus far is neither team really has much wave clear to play with. Not that safe anyway. Oh, Puffles, Rice. It's dangerous.
Oh, Irelia goes out. The ultimate is going through, but Rice is going to calmly wait for Galhe to provide some assistance here in this river fight. As we see Irelia miss the stun, and there's a lot of skirmishes, but there's not any kills going through here as Joystick Truck commits for the Sion ultimate, connects on 2 members as FF Machine 15 gets a beautiful Wukong ultimate, but there's not enough damage on the follow-up. They're looking for more. Rice or Die gets a kill on Dancer, and that's a kill going over to Heimerdoodles on the Rice or Die as they get a double kill over on Heimerdoodles. He's looking for more. General Wally's walking away, trying to walk away. Flash over from the Sion, gets the slow. There's no mana on this Nidalee, but that's irrelevant because that's a triple kill in the pocket of Heimerdoodles.
Triple kill coming out. We saw Seif go in using the Killer Instinct, but gets stopped by the Steadfast Presence, and then he seemed really unsure on what to do. I don't think he knew where he was. He didn't get a whole lot of damage off in that fight. And now, with all of these members dead, it looks like these guys fancy the Baron. They don't have an AD carry, so this is rather slow. There's a big opportunity here coming up for University of Florida to actually try and contest this. Seif is already coming over.
Oh, we are looking... Maybe. They just have to keep Luda from preventing Seif and maybe FF15 Machine to initiate as he does fade out the W on Wukong and gets the kill on Luda. There goes your support, there goes the CC, but that's irrelevant because Dancer's here in the fight. He's trying to stay alive, has to stay in the backline, gets the auto attacks on top of General Wally. Not enough damage, forced to flash away. Rice or Die still up on top of him. He's getting the damage out where Kong gets the double kill over it, and that is a huge turnaround for University of Florida.
Yeah, I wasn't sold by that Baron call whatsoever. We saw that ended up going slightly in Florida's favor. Now they're going to be able to transition that into the mid lane, pick up a mid lane turret, and if they wanted, they could also have chosen to pick up the Dragon, but it looks like instead Rice or Die fancying the bot lane turret, trying to just get gold in their pockets, going to be letting their opponents have these Dragons for free. But it took so long to bring down General Wally and Gremmy in that fight that it allowed Rice or Die to come back from the dead all the way from base and help out in that fight. But it's, I mean, we were talking about how scrappy these fights were going to be throughout this series, or excuse me, throughout this game, and we're seeing so many people funneling in slowly back and forth, just looking for all of these dashes, and Luda going over the wall.
Yeah, gets the knock up as well, and the stun over on top of the wall. Puffles Mia's over the Dragon Pit, maybe looking for initiation, but they kind of just want to posture themselves for this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, we need to see these guys actually move as a group. They're completely split up right now. They want to contest over the wall, but if they want to actually contest, they need to fight.
Yeah, you gotta press at this point, and this is a clean dragon going over to Heimerdoodles. And that's another dragon in the hands of eZclap.
Yeah, they got 3 right now. This upcoming Elder Drake, which we will actually likely see this game, is going to be much more impactful. There's a couple pings over towards the Baron. It looks like Florida is a little bit worried about that. Now, if you're going to try and contest this, you have time. Push up through the mid lane, threaten to take the turret, get the minions hitting that right there. Good check by Seif.
Yeah, safe with the nice Kaisa W, able to scout it out, knows that that's a deadly bush right there. As they are going to posture themselves, maybe go for this mid lane tower. It's looking rather low, shouldn't be too hard to secure for themselves.
Yeah, they should be able to pick this up right now. Sion down in the bottom half of the map, still getting things pushing forward. They do have a permanent teleport advantage because Rice or Die chose not to take his. General Wally, his ult is semi-global. It's not truly global. It won't reach the Baron from bot lane. So they're in a pretty good position for themselves across the map. They gave up a turret potentially for free there. They're looking for a big bait. And University of Florida is smart enough to go through the mid lane, not get themselves caught up in a choke. Uh-oh.
Oh, FF15 Machine gets the ultimate on top of Heimerdoodles, and Rice or Die gets the kill.
This is big. That is the jungler. The Baron is available. They have all of their members here. This gives them an opportunity to look for the Baron.
Yeah, at this point, when you pick off the jungler, there goes your chance of the Baron, unless there's some phenomenal possibility that eZclap is able to steal it, but at this point, this should be a free Baron, but it seems like University of Florida just want to look for objectives.
Yeah, I can't really blame them. It is still dangerous going in 4v5. A lot of the relevant damage is still up. Irelia has a completed Trinity Force and the Sterix Gauge. Scion is insanely tanky, and Danzor almost completed the Black Cleaver. He still does relevant damage if you can't get to him. So I can't say I blame them playing it safe rather than sorry, because their tournament life is on the line.
And we do see Joystick Truck just gonna match the bot wave with General Wally, as both of them do actually. Joystick has TP up while General Wally does have it down, and so this is really good for eZclap that you do have some sort of priority in contesting this Baron.
Yeah, but they also have to match Rise or Die. He's up in the top lane. He is splitting in the dangerous lane right now, and it looks like he's getting collapsed on.
Yeah, maybe he's able to make himself get himself out of this one. Rise or Die doing his best as Danks or is gonna get bursted down, and FF15 Machine just explodes on top of Danksor. As we see the TP go through, it gets canceled by the Galio as Heimerdinger gets initiated by Save. Save flashes and gets connected by the spear. Has to be careful. Lily's gonna be able to pounce on top. Gets the kill on Save. Oh man. Both team carries down on both sides. Oh, Puffles Mia's looking for the engage. Ludas doesn't get the stun off, but stuns up Grammys. Grammys gets ulted on by the Irelia and shut down over on Grammys as they look for more. And Puffles Mia gets the kill on Rise or Die, as both these tanks are just stuck brawling it out with each other. Not much getting done here.
Yeah, this will eventually go in Sion's favor, but just all these small skirmishes slowly going in favor of eZclap. Safe going underneath the turret, not actually able to find the kill in that engagement. And then while they did pick up Danzor very early on, they were left without enough follow-up damage. FF15 and Rise or Die without an ultimate to play with, not able to turn things around, and Puffles and Heimerdoodles able to come in and clean things right back up. So this game isn't over, but now we are still seeing eZclap in a pretty dominating position as we head into this pause. The teleport is going to be up very soon for General Wally, and we're seeing that he hasn't been having a great time in the split push, but with 2 members down, it looks like they're starting us up.
Yeah, they're gonna start this Baron. Joystick has to actually walk up because General Wally did cancel the TP of Scion, was able to knock him up before the channeling time is finished, and this Baron is looking like it's in the hands of eZclap.
Yeah, it's staying so far forward, giving up giving up kills after they had already found the pick onto Danzor, ends up hurting them really badly. Multiple members end up going down, and that gives the presence necessary on the side of eZclap in order to actually push for the Baron. Rise or Die not having the teleport, pushing in the unsafe lane, ends up getting pinched off. While they do trade back, it's not going to be enough, and now their opponents have the Baron buff. We were saying neither team really has a whole lot of wave clear. Galio with tank items has a little bit, but it's not something you're super excited about. And now they're going to have to be wave clearing up against the Baron.
Yeah, and it is Danksor completed with a Black Cleaver, so, and also has the Hex Drinker to counteract the Kali and a bit of the Kai'Sa damage from Save, and also maybe a little bit from the Galio, who isn't actually prioritizing so much its ability power, mostly for the tank stats themselves.
Definitely true. We're seeing that Puffles has the completed Guardian Angel. They might be able to look for a dive if they have the idea that people are elsewhere. FF15 and Rise or Die on the bottom half of the map, potentially looking for a flank. Joystick isn't here yet.
They do know that they are in the vicinity, so they have to be careful. Puffles just gets a stun, does not connect on anyone, but they are A-OK. As we see Save try to just shove and wave clear these minions.
Yeah, he has to be proactively wave clearing before their opponents show up, because once the Baron buff is there, it gets much harder and much deadlier because you can get engaged on. But another Drake spawning, this one's another Ocean Drake. This will give them 4 Elemental Drakes to play with when the Elder does come around, and that continues to give them a late game win condition to play with. Really like the way they're playing. They are going to be losing their top turret since nobody is responding to it, and FF15, not sure what he's doing that far up. Rise or Die is the only one here. Missed ultimate, but they still have 5 members.
Yeah, they do ping him over at the Baron pit. Probably wondering why and on Earth he'd be there. Now, it's a little bit too late to actually go for the top turret. I'm sure he'll still get it, but at this point, this
This
makes
is
it
dangerous.
a 4v5 for the side of University of Florida.
Yeah, this turret's indefensible. Wukong needs to decide. He needs to try and end the game or come back right now, because he's not going to be able to try and back and help this. This is a big engage opportunity. There they go.
Oh, we see Joystick Truck rush in there, honks his horn, and is not able to get much, but the Hydraulic Ultimate is huge, connects on 3 members, traps them all. Galli Ultimate is going through, only going to connect on 2 members. Puffles gets the kill on Rise or Die after the machine takes out Danksor, as Puffles Mia is going to be taken out, GA is going to get popped. Save has to be careful, does not want to get picked out. Arrow, the spear is not going to connect, but they do get an inhibitor out of this, and eZclap is just going to take what they can get and disengage from out of the base of University of Florida.
Overall, that went remarkably well for the side of Florida. FF15 got there about halfway through the team fight. We saw that even though Rise or Die went down early, it pulled Puffles and Dancer far enough forward that Safe was able to get the damage that they needed down, and they're looking for the pick.
Yeah, Hammer Doodles has to be careful. Not sure he's able to 1v1. Oh, no, Killer Instinct is not available for Safe here. Just gonna be able to pressure off the middle. Oh, Grub 1v1 versus the Wukong.
Okay.
Woo! Who goes ahead and is able to win over this Grub.
Yeah, that was definitely spooky for me right there. Luckily had to clone up, but now that they have this pushing wave in the bot lane, this inhibitor will still be down by the time the next Baron spawns. That's going to be giving them a big opportunity to potentially take the next inhibitor as well. The only person with teleport is going to be General Wally. He doesn't split push very fast. He doesn't clear super minions very effectively. If you put Joystick down there, you're going to be in a fantastic position. Or you can just move around, force fights right now. Somebody has to match these super minions, or they can potentially end the game. If Galio's gone, that's a lot of safety taken away from the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, Safe has to be careful. Without Galio, all he really has is Gremmy on Rakan. But even that might not even be enough against something like Poppy, Luda on Poppy, and even the Irelia ultimate. As Luda's friend engage, not quite going to get it. They're going to bait out the Wukong decoy. As Rise or Die is going to get phase check into a spear from Heimer Doodles as they are sieging this top second tier turret.
Not a position you really want to be in. They have a lot of aggressive tools. There they go.
Oh, the flash. Charging from Luda as they are engaging. The Wukong ultimate is huge, but enough damage goes through. Dangster has to be careful. He's looking very low. Pops the Hex Drinker passive already as Rise or Die has to be careful. Spear not going to connect. Puffle Mia looking for a kill.
What?
As FF15 gets out Dangster from the team fight, and they pick off Luda again. And Joystick Truck has to be
What is
careful.
Hyperdoodles doing? He's going for the Nexus turrets.
He's going for the game. He's trying to end the game. Does not want to risk it at all. Has to be careful against one Nexus turret. I don't think he can get either of them. Has to force him to disengage. Rise or Die flashes over and forces the flash of Heimer Doodle as they are maybe looking to get this mid lane inhibitor turret.
Even with a team fight win, eZclap is finding advantages anyway. They take the Nexus turret. They're about to take the mid lane inhibitor turret as well. They're finding everything. Heimer Doodles, nobody can catch this guy. We saw Rise or Die flash forward trying to catch him, but it was just matched by the flash from Heimer Doodles. And now, with only 3 members, they're pressuring all 5 Florida players. Even after losing 2 members there, they're getting a Nexus turret, the mid lane inhibitor turret, and the top lane tier 2, and now they're looking to turn the fight.
Yeah, Puffles Mia gets shredded by Safe on that Kai'Sa, never mind. As FF15 finishes off the kill, and Joystick Truck's gonna ult away.
He's still going to be dead as the Baron is spawning. There is an opportunity here for the side of Florida to get there first. Puffles will not be available. They might be able to take this relatively easily. The inhibitor will be respawning shortly after the Baron does spawn, so they will still want General Wally down there to deal with it. But man, this game is starting to hang on knife's edge. Even though I'm still favoring eZclap in this game, Florida is definitely looking for opportunities. They only need to win 1 or 2 more team fights, and then they'll be able to break the base, take multiple inhibitors, and potentially end the game.
Yeah, Safe is approaching that full build on Kai'Sa there. That's a huge power spike for them as we see them maybe reposition, set themselves up for this Baron, which is spawning right now.
Yeah, Puffles coming out of base. They're not in a position to get it started right away, and Now we're going to go back to look at potential 5v5 once again. Safe actually in base as well, finishing up the Gnasher's Tooth. There's at least 1 or 2 more waves. This is the last wave of super minions that General Wally is dealing with. So they only have a very small window on the side of eZclap. They're trying to get their opponents to funnel through one of these narrow choke points. They really like to see them move through the mid lane, get the minions pushed up, and move through the big section. But oh, Luda.
Luda's a little bit too ambitious for the dive. Gets the ulti from Makan as well as losing a bad spot. Gets the Poppy ultimate on 2 members as Arbrelli is going through, disarming everyone in this fight. This is a huge amount of crowd control and AoE damage going through as Dankster's in the fight. He's big. General Wally's forced to walk away, but they don't even need Baron. They're going to go ahead and run it down mid. A clean ace on the side of eZclap as they are clapping their hands, storming down the base of University of Florida. They're going to take the series 2-0 in this best of 3 in this finals.
They were hitting tanks! They used all of their ultimates trying to bring down Sion and the Poppy. They weren't able to do so, and then everything turns on its head when Joystick was like, wait a second, I'm still at full health. Now I'm going to turn around and knock up the entire enemy team with all of them caught up in one spot. Easy ultimate from Puffles, everybody's disarmed, and that's all of your damage gone because Safe is the one you're looking at, not able to do it. And eZclap taking this tournament so cleanly. That last one took a little bit longer, but they were able to play to their win conditions and bring it home finally after 37 minutes.
Yeah, valiant effort from the University of Florida. They held on as long as they could, but unfortunately, eZclap just showing them that they had the pure dominance throughout the whole game.
Yeah, definitely very exciting. Congratulations to eZclap and the members of the GLHF game room. Definitely something exciting to see the way that they're playing through out here. I mean, just clean 2-0 in the quarterfinals. I'm assuming a 2-0 based on how they've been playing today in the semifinals, in a 2-0 dominating their way through. I don't think they've lost a single game this entire bracket.
Yeah, this bracket has been a fairly easy pathway for the side of eZclap as they do earn themselves first place in this tournament. And looking at the stats as well, quite exciting to see. I'm assuming that there's a lot of damage coming out from the Nidalee there. Heimerdoodle's doing so much damage throughout. Although he didn't get those early ganks off, he was still relevant the later the game progressed.
Absolutely. And overall, I just think that eZclap is clearly the best team. And apologies to the people that we've been saying their names wrong. It is apparently Safe and Danksor. But I mean, overall, they still had some great games coming out. I mean, do you have an MVP for this series?
MVP throughout the series. Normally, I'd give it on Luda for out of eZclap, but I think Dangstar was consistently phenomenal in his performance.
See, I contest that Heimerdoodles was a clear MVP for this series. We saw Luda have a good game 1, a mediocre game 2, and then Dangstar didn't actually do much in the second game. He was consistently dead because of all the pressure put onto him. But Heimerdoodles carried through the first game, having over 100 CS lead up on FF15. And in the second game, we saw just how impactful his Nidalee was later on in the game, picking out key targets, putting heals where they needed to be, and ending the game with a huge score as well. 11, 5, and 13. Most gold in the game as a jungler.
Yeah, so much gold, especially as a jungler. Heimerdoodle definitely knows what he's doing here. Whether you ban out the Graves that was first picked, he says, don't worry, I have another champion in my back pocket, and it happens to be Nidalee.
Yeah, it happens to be Nidalee, and congratulations to them. At the same time, we have to give a quick shout out to all the players on all of the teams as we take a look at the post game stats one more time coming out. Just look at the damage coming out from that Nidalee. It was outpaced by the Akali, but Akali not able to find as many last hits onto their opponents, and those numbers are buffed significantly by landing up against a Sion, just repeatedly throwing a Q, that 5-point key strike, into his face. And so, I mean, that just goes to show how strong of a player Heimerdoodles really has been for this tournament.
Yeah, definitely give him props and respect them. I always thought maybe Graves was his only champion that he could play since they always first picked it, but I was definitely proven wrong since he was styling on that Nidalee pick.
Absolutely. Well, thank you from us here at Everlife Gaming Network. If you'd like to see more games from the production team here, listen to our voices more and more that you've seen today, make sure to follow us here on Twitch at Everlife Gaming Network or on Twitter at TV_EGN. And check out our website at everlifegamingnetwork.com. We got a lot of merch, we got a lot of highlights, and it's all kinds of leagues, all kinds of players from the lowest ranked in the bronze all the way up to the challenger and master players. We'll be around. We love to see you on all of our streams.
We also have a community Discord server as well. So underneath our Twitch channel, go ahead and check the description. There should be linked there. You guys can always chill and socialize with others who are part of EGN. And you guys can always be a part of our community, which is a very welcoming one, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we have fun times. We were playing Quiplash the other day. I was totally not pretending to be another person in the chat. It was a good time. I had fun. They cried. It was great. They didn't actually cry. I'm not that mean. But with all of that said, congratulations one more time to the winners of the GatorLAN over in Florida in Gainesville, taking themselves a very clean tournament. eZclap, your winners, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been Matsuda
And Joshi.
and we are signing off.